Hello and welcome back to the No Excuses podcast. My name is Anne and I live in the middle of Worcestershire in England with my husband Tom. And today is Friday the 29th of August, which means tomorrow, Saturday the 30th, I'm going to be electrocuted at the local hospital. But never mind, I should return. Oh, sorry, my hair's in my glasses. This is episode 105 and it's been nearly 3 weeks since I last recorded. I think it was the 11th of August when I had a look. So I'm sorry that it's been longer than I tried to make it about a fortnight. But, you know, I'm always running late. I should call my podcast that, shouldn't I, instead of No Excuses. But there you go. Today, we've got the usual things to talk about. So let's enjoy the waffle, shall we? Well, I like talking, whether you... We'll leave it at that. We've got 2 make-alongs on the go. We have got the double-long, which ends at the end of September, and we're in September on Monday. And we've got the accessory male, which runs to the end of October. Any accessory, no socks. I haven't had a look, actually, to see if... I might have seen a couple of things on Instagram, but I haven't had a look to see if there's anything in Ravelry yet. I'm just going to have a peek. Any questions, just ask me. My contact details are all below, along with anything I talk about. There should be links to patterns, yarn, etc. If it's still relevant, if the people are still going, etc. So, let's dive in. We have 2 finishes. I'll put these close to me. I need to tell you what I'm wearing, but I'll have to put it on the screen. I think it's the Ashbrook shawl by Tammy Gore, and it feels lovely because it's got some cashmere in. It's got a wool barn cashmere and mist, I think it's called. This was by Hummingbird Yarns, who now moved to France, and they no longer sell in the UK. And that was a Christmas box called Christmas Trifle, and then the dark red is a Sweet Georgia Yarns, and again I think that's a cashmere mix as well, nylon cashmere, about 10%. And this pattern's lovely, and in fact it's got bobbles, garter, stocking stitch and lace. It's nearly feather and fan, but not quite, so I can just about manage to look at it. It is a bit of a strange shape to wear, so I've just put it around my neck, and it's like a kite, but a kite that goes round under the corner, if you know what I mean, a kite shape. Anyway, if I'm wrong about what pattern it is, I'll put it on the screen, but I think I'm all right. First of all, let's go back to where we were, shall we? This is the Glowhair Frost by Stephen West. I don't think my shawl is as long as most people's, but I have finished it, but it's not been blocked, and you've seen it before. I'll put the yarns down below, but I liked it. I was attracted to it. I've seen a few of you making it, especially Shelley, and they're gorgeous. I like the variation in stitch. And then when I got to the end of this block here, with my variegated yarn, I didn't want to do the chevrons, if you remember. So I've done a bit of work with using the Mohair on its own, and the Mohair and the wool. And then I've done an I-cord cast off. I'm thinking mine's probably about 3 inches less deep. A lot of people said they had, when I looked at the projects on Ravelry, a lot of people said that they got plenty of yarn left. I didn't have that much. But anyway, it's gorgeous, and I'm looking forward to wearing it. Now, you would know, wouldn't you, that the minute that I'd finished this, the weather changed. Excuse me. Come on here, burping, grunting, itching. It's like being in a farmyard. Or for you, not me, you know. This is my usual habitat. Anyway, my what was I saying? Yeah, the weather changed, so I've not been able to block it since. But I need, and the days we have had, I've forgotten about it. So I need to block it outside on the table. I'm really, really pleased with this. I need to look for another pattern now to do for another shawl. And when we got the one I'm wearing out of the bottom drawer in our bedroom, Tom said, "You've got all these shawls you never use." I went, "I know." I gave one away to Nick. I think I mentioned it last time. The Unfolded Shawl by Sam in Holland, which is lovely because it's a triangle where you start at the greatest number and you work down, and it's lace weight. It took me a while, but I really enjoyed it. Never worn it. It's too big, and I think it's a bit fragile for me, so I gave that one away. I need to look and see if anybody else wants a shawl in my friends and family. Could I gladly knit them and give them to them? I might see if Michelle wants one. I'm seeing Michelle soon. Michelle, if you're watching, do you want a shawl? And then, dear me, I've made another basket, which one of you will get eventually as a pattern prize. I've made a bigger one this time. It's about a third again larger. In my effort to use up me Bosal foam, and I've sent one of these to sell. It's got 2-inch bottom on this one. It's quilted in the same way, but this would easily hold like 4 or 5 skeins. So I've got a couple to do where people have said they'd rather have a basket rather than a bag with their advent. So and I think I've got 6 more quantities of Bosal to use up, so you know, in addition to these. So if you want one, let me know if you haven't already. So I was just keeping my things in there, my finished items, so I could reach them. And the second one is a Ranunculus, another runky. This is my third. This is for Liz, one of my friends that I've known for 50 odd years. It's scary, isn't it? This needs blocking lightly, but there you go. And this is Summer Pudding by Woolly Tangle, and I think it's merino and silk. You can't really see the variegation on the yarn, although I've alternated skeins. It does detract a bit from the lace, but if you wear something light underneath it, she'll be able to see it, as some kind person pointed out to me. Thank you. And I've put a little bit of turquoise wool there, which I might change because it looks tatty, just to denote the back, otherwise she might wear it back to front. She wanted longer sleeves, so I've done that, and I've finished them off with an, oh, you can't really see it with the dark wool, I-cord edge. I've gone back and picked up the stitches on the neck because I don't know why, and I know lots of you have made it to the pattern. I just don't feel like casting on 60 stitches and think that's going to fit over my head. I don't know what happens to them. They get stretched out or something. Anyway, I have never done that. So I always go back and do about 4 rows of rib and then cast off. And then it's quite a bit longer because Lizzie's about 5'6". And she wanted it to cover her bum. She's well, she won't know I've said this about her, so unless somebody tells her, that she's pear-shaped, classic pear-shaped. So I needed her to try it on to make sure it would go over her bum, and it does. So I'm pleased about that. I've knitted it up. Saw her last Saturday, knitted the last few inches on the body, and then see if YouTube will pick that up as my screen, my thumbnail. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? One without me on for a change. Yeah, so I'm pleased with this. It's lovely. I like the Ranunculus because it's a pretty pattern, if you can see it on the top, and it knits up very quickly. And I'd like, it's taken me 2 skeins to do that, 2 and a bit, probably nearly 2.5. I need to get Tom to weigh it. And what was I going to say? So I'm sure I've got like 2 skeins where I could easily get a ranunculus out of it in the crop version. But I don't mind wearing it a little bit cropped. As long as it goes over the boobs, then I don't mind. It looks a bit silly otherwise. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. I'm glad it's off the needle because it means I could start something new. Wait, be patient now. Right, don't rush me. I have started something new. Of course I have. I'm itching. You know how it is. I'm talking to fellow, not sufferers, but you know, it can get a bit like that sometimes. I'm going to knit a cardigan out of here, which is silly really because I buy all these patterns from Ravelry, but I've not made this particular pattern from this book. It's an old book. It says it is, I think about 2017, so it's not that old, I suppose. 10 years old. This was the Marie Wallin designs in here, and it's the soft yak book. You can probably get online. And I think it's got about 10 designs in it. And I've made the Sonam top before now, or used the numbers for it to knit myself a different top. I'm going to show you that, because I haven't marked the pages. 12 designs it says here, and they're all quite nice actually. There's a couple I'm not so keen on, but stop saying that is what I'm going to do now, which is the Kaya cardigan. It's a little short sleeved cardigan with well, it looks like a cable. It's like a lace pattern on the front. It says it's a 4-row repeat, so it shouldn't be too hard. And then the Sonam, let's see if there's a bigger picture of it. No, is that one where I've taken the numbers for it and lengthened the sleeves, because that's just a cap sleeve, and put different patterns on it. So yeah, so that's in the soft yak. I was umming and ahhing about what to use, because am I disappearing off the side? Yeah, of course I am. To knit it with, because I've bought the 3 lots of cotton from our warehouse from Yarnsmiths, which includes the summer saunter that I've finished, and then there's a blush and I don't know, I think there's like a neutral colour, and then I bought summer Meadow, which is the cotton and linen mix, in a beigey colour and a pink. So I chose the pink, and that's it. This is the back. And I decided, in my wisdom, that I wasn't going to put any patterning on the back. I'm not sitting there doing 4-row repeats of... I'll probably learn the pattern, lace pattern quite easily. I'm pretty good at that. But I didn't want to spend all that time doing it when I'm sat in a wheelchair all the time. So I will do the sleeves and I will do the fronts in those colours. I mean, in a way, I quite fancy doing it as a jumper, and I will have a look at that to see. I should be able to turn it into a jumper. But I must say, I haven't got a spare ball here with me. I'm just come to the end of the first ball, and I'm going to start on a new row. So, mind you, I could use that, couldn't I? Because nobody's going to see if I do a join in the middle of the back. I prefer to join at the beginning of the row and pop it into the seam where I can, or near the seam. Fluting out a bit at the bottom, but I don't mind. I mean, it's got to go around me, so it's got to flute a bit. Yeah, so I'm pleased with this so far, and I shall hopefully in the next couple of weeks finish the back at least and started on one of the fronts. I'm finding I can't knit for so long as I used to be able to, so, and it depends on the day as well, and the weather and everything. Talk about that in a minute. So yeah, I'm pleased with that. So that's the Kaya by Marie Wallin. I don't think it's available on Ravelry as a separate item. So there you go. I am going to do different things now. I'm going to knit on that. I want some daytime knitting, but I also want to get on and sort the advents out. So I need to start another project just to pick up and work on during the day when I fancy it. So that already brings us on to incoming. And I know this is going to be, you're going to find this very difficult to believe. Some may even doubt my word. I've not bought anything this month. Not to do with crafting or knitting, or I nearly did. I haven't talked about the Ranunculus sleeves. I did put a post on Instagram, but they drove me up the wall. So I think it's just better left unsaid, because in the end I did magic loop and that worked okay for me. I need to remember that for next time. Right. I haven't bought anything this month. I was looking on Temu last night because I was feeling a bit and what do you want to do when you're feeling a bit you want to buy things, but I was falling asleep holding my phone, so I didn't actually put anything in the basket. I don't need anything. I am inundated in a nice way, a really nice way. Speaking of which, my first incoming that I haven't got with me because it's in the wardrobe was a big, and I mean a big box of yarn from Susan. Thank you, Susan. Now, Susan's sent me her, she said she's de-stashing. She's put a couple of things on Instagram as well, but she sent me this gorgeous big box of yarn, and she said I can use it, donate it, use it as prizes, or give it to family and friends. So some of it will definitely end up in prizes, because there's no way I would want to keep a gift like that all to myself. I want to share the love, and I hope that we'll all enjoy using that. So such a big thank you to Susan. I am seeing Susan when we meet up at the Stafford Wool Gathering, whatever it's called. Worse with names. So good when I was at work. Well, say good. But yeah, so that's October the 18th or 19th. Going on to Sunday anyway. So thank you, Susan. You know I appreciate it. I really, really do. And then Carol had said to me, can I have your address, Anne? Now, Carol lives in Canada. And I said, yes, of course. You don't ask why, do you? Just give people your address. And she sent me this. Oh, it's a little journal, like the one Jane sent me. And this is gorgeous as well. I can't choose between them really because they're very different. There's little pockets and like notes and things, to write on. There's like a little pieces. I think they're gorgeous. Do you remember when you used to get like a front piece in a book, or where you had pictures or photographs? There'd be the thin paper, a bit like Izal toilet paper. Like that. That's really thin. It can be read from. It's like a part of a dictionary, saying, and people. And then there's some pages to write on, and there's some lovely bookmarks in here as well. A tag with dangly bits on it. I can't show things. That's got an owl and a moon hanging from it, little charms, and it slips into a pocket there. Paper clip with little bits of beautiful decorated papers in. And I mean, just gorgeous clip. And I did think that was magnetic to begin with, so I very carefully tried to move it, but it isn't, so that's fine. I don't want to ruin anything. Just different widths, and really, really, really nicely put together. And then at the back, I I've got some string somewhere, like, you know, like butcher's twine, something like that, and I think that would look really good to tie this up. I do like the little, there's a tiny little, on this bookmark here, there's a tiny little key on a tassel. And it's just the way that things are put together. It just appeals to my childhood, really, wanting to do this sort of thing, making books and putting things together. I say I've got when Jane sent me the other one, I've got this vague recollection of some coloured paper and me putting things together, but I can't quite bring the memory back. So Carol, thank you so much. This is beautiful. Little danglies at the bottom as well. I just love it. I just, you know, I could just look at it. But what I want to do is, oh, sorry, some of the bookmarks are just slid towards me. What I want to do is decide what precious notes I'm going to put into this one by Carol and the other one by, I say by Jane, because they're both handmade. Some papers there, and slip that into there. Surprise! Every time you look at it, there's a surprise. And I mentioned commonplacing about quotes that you see and things that you like, and I'm wondering whether I could use one of them for quotes or one of them for, I don't know. I've got an idea, but I need to put it together, think carefully, because I find I write notes in little notebooks and then I have to put them all together if I want to keep them. I've got this, I've been working on this morning. This is a Vendale sheep notebook, quite good quality paper, and in the corner there's a little Ven on the edge of each page, so it's good quality paper, and I'd only used the first 3 pages or 4. So what I've done, this is when I was starting to look for things for the bathroom and my car, so they're not relevant to me anymore because the bathroom's done and we've got the car. So I got some craft knives and I cut them out, so I've now got a full book to put things in. But I want to use this for a specific purpose, like I want to use the notebooks, the journals, and that is, I'll put it somewhere else, that when I've gone to places like Wonderwall, I've written pattern names down and what yarn is needed for those things. And I've done that for shawls and jumpers and cardigans, and I need to put them somewhere permanent. And I think something like this, where I can just pop it into my handbag when I go to a show, is perfect. I don't need any wool. But even if I'm looking through my own stash, it would be useful. I've put a pen holder there, this green thing, fastened to the back page. They're quite useful actually. I've got them on a couple of my things. These are Temu ones, so whether they'll survive being used, we don't know. I shall report back. But yeah, woolly good ideas, it says on there, which is totally appropriate, isn't it, for me to put pattern notes in there. Right, see, I knew I'd take up time if I started waffling. I didn't think I had a lot to talk about, but you know, you don't come here for content, do you? Not real knitting content. And then finally, my mum says, I bought you a zebra. Enormous zebra. His name is Hugo. And some of you may recognise him. Let me show you. He's got feet, he's got shawls, and he's lovely. He's very well stuffed actually, not too firm. He's got a beautiful mane. He's got beautiful ears. And he looks really well in proportion, doesn't he? He's got a nice rounded belly that we like to see. And he's got his little dungaree shorts on, which can be removed. And he's got a tail and a hole through the back of his dungarees just for his tail, because he's got buttons at the back. So he wouldn't be suitable for a little baby. Now weirdly, well not weirdly, but coincidentally, can see hair on him. I'm losing hairs like nobody's business. Hugo is from the Louise Crowther Knitted Animal Friends book, which I bought because of Kaz. Didn't I? Or did I haven't knitted anything from it. In fact, you know, I've been trying to sell some yarn that I bought to knit animals with. I've still got the 4-ply. The double knitting one's gone. This might be double knitting actually. And I suppose you could use, if you use 4-ply, you'd end up with a smaller zebra. And if you use double knitting or Aran, you end up with bigger zebra. I don't know if I'd want the Aran one. What do you think? Anyway, my mum says it's mine, right? And then she says she's going to share it. I've got to give it back every now and again. Well, hello, Hugo. And you're a star. Dad. Gonna make you... Oh, I can't sing. I'm not going to sing David Essex, which is what jumped into my head. So, that's my last incoming. And I didn't spend a penny. If you know what I mean. Now, put Hugo lying down there. We'll carry on. I've lost some pens. I had like 2 lots of gel pens, and I buy things like that because I can put them in giveaways and things. I had 2 lots of like 10 or 12 gel pens, and I can remember going through them and testing the colour and everything. And I separated them out, but they're not where I thought they would be. In my, I've got a 3-part zip up that I got from, I don't know where, like Temu, like a pencil case size. And I put different pens in the different slots, and I can't find my array of gel pens, and I don't know where I put them. So I got this. This is from Penny, which I love this. And it's like a pencil case. I'm thinking that's what it is, or scissors or whatever. Actually, would scissors fit scissors quite well? Great bare fabric, and it unzips around the top. And then it opens up, and you've got a pouch pocket at the front and then some pockets at the back by the liner, and I really like that. So it could be scissors, I suppose, but Penny gave me this a few Christmases ago, and I love it, and it's perfect to carry just a few things around with. I mean, you could easily put a little pair of scissors in there, like my embroidery scissors, my Fiskars or Wilkinson sword, into there. That would fit nicely. No, you'd have to go like that, wouldn't you? But if you did that, you'd be in danger of stabbing yourself. Maybe not scissors. See, sometimes it's better to talk these things through. But yeah, so I was expecting to put about 6 or 7 pens in there, gel pens. And for the life of me, I can't find them. So I'm ended up podcasting at 4 o'clock instead of 3 o'clock because I'm looking for things. We are already at activity. Well, first of all, apologies. I've not made any progress in sending out any of the prizes that I announced last episode, and I'm really truly sorry about that. I don't know what sorry means, but it's something similar to sorry. Get my teeth in right. Yeah, so I have no excuses apart from I've had issues with pain, which I'll talk about in a minute, but we don't to dwell on it. But I'm aiming to send them out this week. My problem, it's not really a problem. My excuse is that some of the stuff's in the wardrobe, and because I'm in such a mess, an organised mess, then I have to get Tom to help me. Now, he says he doesn't mind, but I want to make sure that when I go in one of the wardrobes, it's for something that I remember everything I want to get out of there, assuming I know what's in there. You see what I mean? Anyway, I'll get that done this week, this weekend, whatever, and they will be with you hopefully within about 10 days. There we go. And then really I need to do my blouse that my mum's done for me, cut out for me, and then start on the advent. So the advents are going to slip because my slippage in August, because I was hoping to start. I've done all the mini skeins, I just need to make the bags. It won't take me long. Now, so that's my apology, and I'm very sorry because I like to be on top of things. I like to do things in a timely manner most of the time. We haven't had a draw for August because I saw you on the 11th, and I don't think I announced anything then, did I? Did I announce a word? I don't think I did. No, I haven't written it down if I did. So if you all wrote to me, right, with a word, then I can't remember what it is. So let me know if I've done you out of replies. I hope you watch more professional editions, more professional people than me, because, yeah. So because we haven't had any draws for August, we'll go straight on to September. And I am looking at our Bramley seedling. We've had apples, windfalls, we've had an apple pie the other day. We might have an apple crumble soon, but we certainly want stewed apple, and I need to find something to have it with. I don't like evaporated milk anymore. I don't want cream. I want something a bit tart, but I don't like yoghurt. So I'm thinking try a Greek yoghurt. Are there any Greek yoghurts out there that don't taste like Greek yoghurt? Or don't taste like yoghurt? Because I don't like the sourness of it. Anyway, so I want to say, can you put the word Bramley? Now, it can be about Bramley and Leeds, Bramley baths, or it can be about Bramley apples. But Bramley, B-R-A-M-L-E-Y. So I'll put it on the screen. And if you mention Bramley, then you'll be put into the draw for September. Oh, activity. We're on to activity. Just after I recorded the last podcast episode, I met Denise. Well, normally we go into our little town centre here in Droitwich, and we have a potter around, go into muffin break. We usually share a sandwich and have a cake each, because that's the way you should do things. Don't have a sandwich each and then share a cake, because I have an aversion to sharing cakes, you know, especially if I've got a fork in my hand. So it was too warm, so she came here like late morning and we chatted till about 3, and then she went home again. So that was, I think we were a bit more comfortable for that. Then a couple of days later we tried to go to the Longbridge in the car. The idea was that my mum has only been allowed to drive for a week now. So before she went back for her final check-up after a hip-hop, we were going to go to Marks and Spencer's and meet my auntie, who's my dad's brother, sister even, who lives very near to the complex. We're going to go and have coffee in the M&S, but our car decided to play up. Since modern diesels now, not our old one, modern diesels have filters and things in them, and you have to add this thing called AdBlue, and it's all about particulates in the air and congestions and things like that, and it's all good for the environment, but they're known, the sensors are known to play up, and we found out they'd especially play up on our car. So we're getting I said to Tom a couple of days earlier, I said, car's like juddering, like stop like it's trying. And he said, yeah, I noticed that. He said, we've got no warning lights. And then it's when we were on our way to pick my mum up, he said, he started lurching again. He said, oh, I've got this light come up saying you need to go and drive to clear the filter, and it means I go have a blast down a motorway basically. But we'd only been to Devon 4 weeks before, and we get near a Longbridge and the car's virtually stopping. It's like work, and it's saying service now. So I was thinking, oh God, are we going to get home? And Tom said, look, he said, we'd already got my mum in the car. We were just heading down the hill to turn into the Longbridge complex. And Tom said, I'm going to go home. He said, I don't want to risk it with you with me in the car, because if we have to get towed home, I can't get in their vans. That they, even though they know that they're towing somebody. I see no, in theory, that I'm a wheelchair user. Don't see that's going to work, but I ain't sitting in the back, am I? So we turned round, and the minute we turned round and started going back up the Lickies, it stopped playing up, as if it knew we were going to get it sorted. So I said, let me auntie know that really sorry, but we won't be seeing her. And she said it's all to do with the twilight zone around the X factory. But we got home, dropped Mum off. Well, dropped Mum off and got home okay. Phoned the garage, bring it in. We had to wait about 4 days to get it in, 5 days. And they fixed it. But when they gave it to Tom back, it was still showing a code. And he said, go down the motorway, because we live right next to the M5. Go down the M5, just down to Strensham and back. And then he did, but it didn't clear it. And then even though I checked the traffic, as he got nearest to Tewkesbury, the traffic was backing up on the other side. So he got off and he came back up the lanes, still had the error message. And it tells you every so many miles, and you have to click it to turn it off. It goes bing bong at you, shows it on the screen. So he was all ready to say to the man, look, this is madness. We went and got petrol a couple of days later. I think we were going to my mother's, and it cleared it when we put fuel in. Ta-da! Hasn't come back, so he's going to tell the garage that actually putting fuel in cleared the thing, cleared the pipes, maybe. So we didn't use the car for the whole of the weekend 2 weeks ago, but it was a bit frustrating not being able to go out in it. Anyway, went and saw Mum last Sunday. That was, I'd sit in my manual chair. I don't bode well in that anymore. But the week before that, I'd had a blood test. That was interesting. I said to her, that foot, she went, nah. Look at your other foot, nah. So where'd you go next? She said, back to your hands, nah. She started with the foot that I presented to her in the first place. And she got it out first time. I mean, our phlebotomist is really good, and she only stabbed me once, and that was enough. I've reacted well to the amitriptyline, I must say, for my feet fizzing and being numb. A lot better. I don't know whether it's cooler weather that's done it. I said that to the GP. I saw her this week. I don't have a B12 deficiency either, and everything else is looking good apart from my blood pressure. So now I was taking 1 ibuprofen a day to help with the inflammation, which I'm not supposed to. I know that because it's processed in the kidneys. But she's upped me blood pressure tablets, and so she told me I must not take any more ibuprofen because the blood pressure tablets are processed in the kidney as well. My other tablets are processed in the liver. It's worth knowing the difference. And then last week we met with Wendy and Amanda. We went to a place called the Twisted Spoon, and it's a tea room as part of the Upton Snodsbury. Yes, that's a real village name. Outside Worcester on the Ulster Road to Stratford, Ulster. It's not accessible. I got my wheelchair in there fine, and the car park's fine. But I'd written to them, but I hadn't seen the email come back to me until after we went. Don't know why. But anyway, they have toilets up steps. Now, they've been refurbished and things a few times. I think there might be a free house, so they'd have to pay for a disabled toilet. But I think it's quite poor. I won't be going there again, unfortunately, because I enjoyed what we had and the meals looked nice. But if you're not going to provide a disabled toilet, I shouldn't really give you my patronage, should I? But we met with Wendy and Amanda. Tom knew them both, so that was good. It was a bit noisy when we got there, so Tom couldn't hear what we were saying. But it's called the Twisted Spoon, and when they give you your teaspoon, the handle's twisted. But they do really nice cakes. It was almost sickly, but not quite. A chocolate caramel Biscoff cheesecake. Wendy and Amanda had banoffee pie, individual ones. And Tom had cream tea, which was 2 homemade scones, fruited scones, with a pot of cream and a pot of jam. And he really enjoyed that, and it came with tea or coffee. They charged us for the coffee extra, so we complained and they took it off. We didn't complain, we just pointed it out to them. So yeah, really good service, good value. They do things like egg and chips, or how egg and chips or quiche and salad at lunchtime. And they're only open till about, I think I don't know, 5 or 3 in the afternoon, and then it's the pub. But you could nip through to the pub and go to the bar and get a drink if you wanted to, because the whole place is licensed. But as I say, if they've got no toilet, then should I really go to it again, even though I enjoyed it? And then met with Liz on Saturday. She got measured for the Ranunculus. We had a light meal round the pub. I couldn't eat mine. It was too spicy. I had their vegetarian chilli, the lunchtime deal, which is a bit smaller. I didn't have any nachos. I think he should have given me nachos. But also it was long life sour cream, and that wasn't very nice. I've had the same dish before and really enjoyed it. Maybe it's me. But that was nice to talk to Liz. Liz has had a few issues recently. Lost her mum's husband, not her dad, not her stepdad, but her mum got remarried, lost her mum, and her mum's been poorly, so we talked to some of that. And she got a new granddaughter, which I need to make something for. And then I had 2 double rums, and I flew back, even up and down curbs like I wouldn't let it frighten me otherwise. And then I went back to the doctor on Tuesday. And you see, the trouble is, once you start going to the doctors, they've got you. And that's why I don't go. And I do like my doctor. She's absolutely lovely. So what she said to me is, double your blood pressure, because it was quite high. She'll give me some that are at that rate, so I only need to take 1 a day once I've finished these. And to have more of, I was going to up my dosage of the slow release tablets, with a view to me having fewer quick release. So we're going to try that next. But she listens to me, and I think she recognises that, you know, I am struggling. But this week's been horrible. Yesterday was absolutely horrible. You know, it's blue sky at the moment, even though we had pouring rain earlier, and it's rained overnight and before I got up. But my hips are just so painful. It's just difficult to do things. So I haven't been out and about as much as I'd like to. The problem is, when you're young, and I've said this probably several times, and I am sorry if I'm repeating myself. When you're young, you sprain your hand and you get better. I'm finding it difficult to realise that I am not going to get better than this unless I take stronger drugs. I don't really want to do that very quickly, so I'm trying to hang out for as long as I can. But in the meantime, I'm not doing anything because I'm in pain, and it's that balance that's. And I talk about it on here. Not worries me. No, definitely not. But I know a few of you have got fibromyalgia, and that's horrible. That can be very, very painful. There's a lot of stuff out there where pain is a big issue and a big part of the condition that you've got. Mine's arthritic type pain, and it is just, it's all consuming sometimes. And it's my hips, and I'm like, and sometimes they even just sat down. I was like, why are you hurting? I'm not doing anything. Never mind. Anyway, onwards and upwards. That's what we need to do. We need to, once I'm not in pain, I'm aching at the moment a little bit, but it's bearable. Then I forget how painful I am. It is, you know. I do try to have a very positive slant on things. Anything else I should have told you that I haven't told you? No? Okay. I'm going to go now, and I'm promising that I will get the prizes sorted, get them in the post to you. And don't forget Bramley, if you want to be entered into September's draw. That can include this episode, because it's not even September, is it? So, and it will go out probably Saturday or Sunday, this will, depending how well I get electrocuted tomorrow. Right, I'm going because I'm waffling, and that's silly. What shall I make next? Got any ideas? Should I make another cast on anyway? Cast on another jumper. I can't find my lento. It's in one of these bags. I will show you my craft room. I'll do a video and show you how rammed it is. But so I don't know whether to find a lento and do that or just start another shawl. Right, I'm going to leave you now and I will see you very soon. Please get in touch. You know I love to hear from you. Thank you again to those of you who've sent me things. Much appreciated. I do need to catch up with videos again. So I'm going to do that over the weekend and do a bit of sewing, I think. You take care. Have a good weekend yourselves. And yeah, see you in about a fortnight. Okay, bye.